Hey guys, just really quick before we start the video, we have a really good friend who's started a YouTube channel. The channel is called Ask Greta Anything. I know it mightn't be something that you're into.
Look, I already said to him, look, I can tell you right now, the guys that watch us are not going to be interested in what you want to do. But he is a very good friend.
He's such a good friend of ours.
So we couldn't just say, no, we're not gonna shout you out. We're not gonna tell anyone about your channel.
So if it is something you might be interested in, go and check it out. Links down below. Please tell him that we sent you. And let's get into the video. Furry. Corrupted manifestation of totemism.
Do you guys like SKITZO posting and X? Because they go hand in hand so well.
Yeah, they
do. We got SKITZO posting and furries smashed together.
Be a SKITZO post.
Yeah. So let's get it. Well, I don't know if it's beast because the guy that wrote this is a furry.
Oh
so
well,
I don't
maybe
know
it's not beast.
I don't know if a furry can be beast.
No, they can't.
But I think
it's impossible.
Honestly, if you guys enjoy this, like I think it's funny. So I've read this a few times before, and I'm sure. If any of you guys follow any X channels, you might have came across this before, but like Megan's never came across it, so I thought it'd be a lot of fun. Let's jump into it.
First off, when I talk about furries, I mean any person with an elevated allure to anthropomorphism, whether that person wants to identify as a furry or not.
If you got a fetish for it, you're a furry, I'm sorry.
Now, prepare for some high-quality schizo autism.
It is pretty high tier, I must say.
Rubs hands.
It's high tier, but it's also allowed on YouTube at the same time, which is a hard line to have.
Last week I made a thread to see what X had to say about furries and how they come to be. My proposal was that there's a more esoteric explanation for their existence. The thread ended up getting a few dozen replies, so it wasn't a huge success by any means. But I was surprised to see that many Anons had the same idea as I did, that furry's origin was not as simple as we've learned to be. It doesn't always begin with some lonely weirdo consuming cartoons and then slowly wanting to fuck Disney's Robin Hood.
99% of the time.
Yeah, 99% of the time, it's all the time.
Why? I'm not even joking, but it actually has been Disney's Robin Hood. From what I've heard from a lot of furries have actually said, oh no, for me it was definitely
Robin Hood, and I think a lot of the new age furries, it's that Zootopia.
Oh fuck, yeah, it is, yeah.
The reason why I'm so obsessed with this stuff is simply that I'm a furry myself. Think of that what you want. However, unlike many other fur fags, I was never obsessed with anthro shows as a kid, and I wasn't a terminally online recluse in my preteen years. The time when most people become sexual degenerates. How I exactly became a furry, I don't exactly know, but I do remember being around the age of 16. It almost feels like one day I had no idea what a furry even was, then something clicked inside of me, and the next day I was going through the rabbit hole of fursits, yiff, roleplay, and all the other manifestations of furry subculture with morbid curiosity and unexplainable fervour. Not once did I stop and question my actions. I very quickly went full circle from slightly interested in furry cartoon animals to has jacked off the Rule 34 and has a fursona. The mysterious origins of my fur faggotry eventually led me to consider various esoteric theories for the furry phenomenon. My research took what I believe was a natural turn after I stumbled onto old shamanistic traditions.
This is where it gets
Oh my
schizo.
god! Old shamanistic traditions of Native Americans and Siberians, which included totemism.
So before we get any further, what do you guys think?
As soon as I seen shamanistic,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, are you guys transforming? Are you taking on the spirit of the power of the wolf? You know what I mean?
Fuck's sake.
One thing that always confused me about furries is I don't understand how they don't have a shared universe. If that makes any sense.
No.
Like, it's not like...
It's all over the place.
It's not like it's a Sonic OC or whatever. This is... there's no world of furries to work for them. Unless it's like Second Life or some shit like that.
Encyclopedia Britannica defines totemism as a system of belief in which humans are said to have kinship or mystical relationship with a spirit being, such as an animal or a plant. The entity, or totem, is thought to interact with a given kin group or an individual to have serve as their emblem or symbol.
I mean, that doesn't actually sound too schizo to me.
I feel like I have a spiritual relationship with reptiles.
Oh yeah,
but it's only because I'm obsessed with snakes and lizards and
yeah,
all the crocodiles, all that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna fuck him.
Yeah, there's a big fucking difference.
Big difference.
But no, with that lead out, like, no, that definition, I do think that definitely applies to what personas kind of are.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Furthermore, is it necessary to differentiate individual totemism from totemism in general, as it will be important to my theory? Individual totemism is expressed as an intimate relationship of friendship and protection between a person and a particular animal or natural object.
I love my pet log.
Sometimes between a person and a species of animal. Frequently connected with individual totemism are defined ideas about the human soul, or souls, and conceptions derived from them, such as the idea of an alter ego and nihilism, which means that a kind of simultaneous existence is assumed between the animal or natural object and a person.
You know, this sounds like more like otherkin.
Yeah.
This is giving me more otherkin than furry.
Because otherkin actually believe they are.
They are
soul,
that. They are
within their soul. They are that animal.
Yeah.
Like wolfkin.
It's been so long since I've actually looked over otherkin, and
I know. I remember watching a documentary.
They don't exist. Oh, do you remember that one with the guy, the couple that pretended to be wolves?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. So it was. Yeah.
After learning about this, I now strongly believe that some people become furries when the ancestral memory of totemism slumbering in their subconsciousness is either triggered by something to the conscious or, more seldom, when it enters the conscious naturally. Once the memory of totemism enters the conscious, the person becomes linked with a certain animal totem and/or their realm. However, it is necessary to understand that this link is imperfect. The person, the new furry, is unable to make a proper connection with the totems, and he only receives corrupt influence from them. This corrupt influence often manifests into a sexual and romantic interest in anthropomorphic animals, among other things.
So
Furry's making excuses again.
So your ancestors are not smiling upon you and thinking, you filthy fucking cougars. Is that what it is? Are you talking about the furries of the past were more...
It's like Mufasa. It's like Simba looking up to the sky.
Yeah.
It's like the furries of the past look down upon me.
Yeah, you fucking filth.
Not all furries are the same. Some of them have a stronger connection to the totem world, some weaker. I believe that furries who have made fursonas have it stronger. Next, I will briefly discuss in detail what a fursona even is.
So what do you guys think about the SKITZO person so far? It is interesting though. I can't help but find it really fascinating.
No, it's the ramblings of a madman.
It is. But look, I love SKITZO posting though.
Like you do.
But I also am a SKITZO, so you know it's okay.
Sure, I'm not even real. You are a SKITZO.
Yeah. You're just a figment of my imagination. I came up with it. It's like
you're very good at throwing your voice.
Yeah.
One of the most common misconceptions normies have about fur fags is that creating a fursona is a prerequisite to becoming a furry. Well, it kind of fucking is.
I thought it was. I was pretty sure that was kind of part of the whole thing.
Yeah. This is not the case.
I mean, like, it's not like it's fucking hard to pick. Okay, a wolf and fuck some neon colours on top.
And tits.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all you
need. And a big pussy. Because that's all they seem to be.
Big fucking bulging family. Why the fuck does
Why are they always bulging? And why are their assholes always puckered? I don't get it. This is not the case. Some furries are into anthropomorphism simply because it's an aesthetic or a fetish, nothing more. However, many do have one or even multiple fursonas. I divide fursonas into two varieties. Type A, self-fursona. This type of fursona is a furry version of a person. The animal in question may look similar to its creator, and even more often, share the same personality with him. Might be an idealized version of its maker. This type is more common among Western fur fags, and is a pure fursona, the person themselves imagined as an anthropomorphic animal. Type B, representative fursona. This type of fursona is more clearly distinguished from its creator. It usually bears no resemblance with its creator's physical appearance, and similarities with its maker's personality are often harder to point out. It is more like a virtual companion of the person, for the lack of a better word, rather than a pure fursona.
Wait, so is it like an imaginary friend of sorts?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like?
Yeah. I would say it's more like it's just OC.
Wait. I've got an idea. Actually, could you argue that this is a very, very mild form of dissociative...
Identity disorder?
Yeah. Like, very, very mild. This is a way of coping. So you imagine your persona in the situation instead of... Is it like a...
Look, we're trying to put medical terms to people who dress up in fursuits.
Which they need. Let's just keep going.
Rather than a pure persona, note already the similarity with the description of an individual totem. This type is common among both Western and Eastern furfags, and makes up the majority of fursonas in the latter case. It must be noted that even for those who have Type A fursonas, it is rare for the average furfag to actually consider their fursona to be their true self. In fact, I wouldn't consider a person like that a mere furry. Let me explain why.
So is it an otherkin then?
Last week in my thread, some anon posted a link to a rather interesting blog where a theory similar to mine is presented, although through the lens of evolutionary biology rather than the spiritual realm of totem animals. The author makes the argument that our bodies don't necessarily match the sensomotor portions of our brains and other information content about what our bodies are supposed to look like. So it's more like, what's that word? Body dysmorphia.
Oh, right, yeah. So it would be body, but with animals instead of gender.
I know. Well, it's not always gender. It is mostly gender, but like anorexia.
Oh, yes,
stuff like that. They've body dysmorphia.
They fall into the same category, do they? All right, okay.
I interpret this as them saying that furries happen when older, some conscious memories and old DNA data of being another type of animal are conflicted with our current human form. However, after reading the whole blog though, it became clear that the writer has the same false assumption about furries as many others. That they are people who don't feel like they're humans. That they feel more like an animal trapped in a human body. Thus, the author implies that furries have dysmorphia, their theory arguably influenced by the identity as their identity as transgender. So maybe the author is transgender and he's saying, it's very similar to what I have been going through.
Oh, right, okay. That's interesting. I've never thought about them, but
I don't think it is like that. I think for a very select few, it could
like
be
the
like
otherkin type. Yeah.
Furthermore, the author assumes that all furries have a Type A fursona, in their theory described as anthropomorphic projections of a person's self-concept, including sensomotor body map, visual modules, and social modules into a 3D form.
What the fuck does that?
I disagree with this fundamentally, as you will soon see. All in all, what the author of the blog is essentially describing are people called otherkin. Yeah. And, as I already wrote in the last post, the vast majority of furries don't think their fursona is their true self. A furfag doesn't equal an otherkin. The author's theory, in my opinion, doesn't give us the correct explanation for the existence of the furries and fursonas. I will now proceed to hypothesize the connection between totemism and both types of fursonas. Every week we're going to be doing a giveaway of the new pin-up model of the month, or if models isn't your thing, all of our homebrew content. If you want to be in with a chance to win the giveaway, all you need to do is subscribe. That's it. Hit the subscribe button. That's it.
Do it now.
But last week's winner was this guy. Well done! Yay! Round of applause. Everybody stands up and claps. But enough of that. Let's get back to the video. As established, some people can become connected to the totem realm. However, when the connection is made, it's firstly always imperfect and doesn't form a proper bond between a person and its totem. The influence of an individual totem is clear in Type B persona I described earlier. The totem's intimate relationship of friendship and protection between the totem and the person somewhat resembles Type B persona as a person's virtual companion. Thus, I believe that the Type B persona is a superficial image based on its totem. The persona will share some common characteristics with it, such as its species, but is often perverted to be more sexualized and appealing to furries as large. The special status of one's totem is reduced to that of a mascot, a mere tool for either attaining a sense of fellowship among the furry community or marketing one's artistic services for monetary gain. Type A persona is an even more warped image of one's totem, as it is not a separate entity from its creator. It's almost like an anthropomorphic chimera. It is as a result of the person's own sense of self getting mixed up with the totem. The reason for this is beyond me, but I speculate that a person with weak self-esteem is more prone to unconsciously adopting the image of a totem as part of his own persona. It might sound amusing, but fursona creation is actually the closest a furry will ever get to practicing authentic totemism. And that's saying a lot. After all, there's no such thing as pink huskies, coyotes with LED lit fur, or animal hybrid furry artists have created over the years. Many of these eye-soaring fursonas are created just for the sake of authenticity, and some even make them just to get into the community. Ironically, even the most authentic aspect of fur faggotry is but a cheap imitation of the real spiritual tradition. Fur faggotry is essentially a corrupted manifestation of totemism.
So is this guy like looking down at all the peasants? It's like, only I know the true way to be a furry. All these posers, you know what I mean? He is picking up interesting points. So they're actually they are schizo.
Yeah,
but I think
something to take home and think about.
It is. There's something mixed in there that is definitely true, I think.
Before I move on to the second segment of the thread, I'm going to answer a few questions about fursonas and totems that many of you may have, but in my opinion, didn't deserve their own post. Partially because I don't know how to answer them in depth, and partially because I don't deem them to be too important for my theory. Why are most fursonas the same few species? Here's a list of favourite species collected from almost 9,000 furfags. Top, wolf.
Wolf, yeah, wolf.
Fox.
Fox at bottom.
I think there might be many reasons why wolves, foxes, cats and other canines and felines are among the most popular species. Perhaps most totems have a canine form due to humankind's long fellowship with the dog. Or perhaps canine totems preceded the domestication of animals, and that's why we even domesticated dogs in the first place. Not, say, mustelids.
The fuck's mustelids?
No idea. However, the more possible explanation is probably just bandwagoning certain species. Yeah.
I would say that. That and also most people have pets,
dogs or cats, and they are very connected with their animals, and they're like, oh, I'm one of you.
Yeah, I think that sounds more likely to be the case.
Are furries without fursonas also linked to the totem realm? Yes, but their connection is weaker. What's your fursona, furfag? I have a type B fursona. It's a badger. Who the fuck wants to be a badger, man? Who the fuck wants to be a badger?
That's like the shittest animal.
I have the misfortune of being a furfag as well. What should I think of all this and my own fursona? In my view, the two possibilities you have are to either cut your link to the totem realm, extremely difficult, if not impossible for some to do, or to become so connected with it that you ascend fur faggotry and begin practicing real authentic totemism. The first steps would be to stop sexualizing the species you feel particularly closeness with, and then stop consuming anthropomorphic erotica or anything that is not sacred for the totem realm. Make the totem something you actually venerate, but don't feel bad if you indulge in your bad habits at first. Even I'm taking my first steps. Too much guilt is no good.
Look, they're trying not to fucking come. Like, I'll give him credit where...
Trying not to.
Yeah, I'll give him something.
For the second and the last segment, I'll be speculating why fur faggotry as a large is a very recent phenomenon. Surely it would be too conventional for people to now become reconnected with the totem realm and all these anthropomorphic media around. So my theory has to be false, right?
I've got a few
it's the
ideas.
Birth of the internet. It's purely the birth of the internet.
I've got a few ideas.
And same with all these fucking weird fucking fetishes. It's the birth of the internet.
I think the internet is melting people's brains.
Yep.
I also think it's to do with the community at large.
You can find a community easier online.
And also the communities are very, very accepting, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or anything. They're very over the top accepting.
It's like, it's like even for the internet as a whole, that's why within the last recent years as well, it's been more accepting to be part of the LGBT community.
Oh yeah, because
they're able to find people online who are the same as them, and stuff like that, which is great because it's grown it.
Yeah.
But people from small towns, you know, the gay boy from a small town, they'll probably never run into another gay person in their life, but online they're able to make that community, able to make that connection. Yeah. You know,
so that's something.
It's the same with anybody on the internet.
Yeah.
You're able to find a connection with a group of people maybe playing World of Warcraft or whatever, you're able to find people.
Yeah, it's people that would not have any sense of community otherwise are now finding a sense of community. And I think sometimes it doesn't matter what the community is about, they just want to feel part of something.
Something, yeah.
If that makes any weird sense. That's my views on a lot of the really weird out there stuff, is people just want to be part of something bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, you know, okay, we don't have a religion anymore, like, you know, so we don't have a sense of community as much. So people are moving that community online. And they're finding they're getting the same self-worth that they would have got from religion.
Going to church or going to mass or whatever.
And I think it's very similar.
Yeah.
And also, if you look at any fandom, it is cult-like, and it does have religious further.
Yeah.
So, you know...
Just go onto Twitter and type in my fucking K-pop. Fuck.
Just never use Twitter, honestly, it's not worth it.
While it is true that the furry fandom itself is a product of modern times, I doubt that the potential link between humanity and the totem realm ever went anywhere. In fact, the influence of totemism can be seen in fables and national symbols, among other things, even after the transition from shamanism and nomadism to a more settled lifestyle. Whether this transition was positive or not, I will leave you to your own consideration.
No, that's a load of shit. Just because a flag uses an eagle does not mean that they're furries by any means. That's like saying all Americans are furries because they venerate a bald eagle.
I think every country or state has a national animal.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
as an animal.
Oregon's is fucking hard. I don't know what animal we've got.
Do we not have an animal?
I'm gonna actually Google it.
I know Scotland is unicorn.
Scotland's unicorn, England's lion. A lot of
Welsh is dragon.
Yeah.
I don't know what we have.
Let me Google one.
Pigeon, probably.
Yeah. So yeah, we checked it. It's a hare.
A hare.
Like a rabbit.
A big rabbit.
Yeah.
It's because apparently we all breed like fuck.
That actually makes sense. Holy fuck.
Makes sense.
Oh my god, this guy. Oh my god, this is not good. This is not good. This guy's making too much sense. He must be stopped.
But even after larger state religions cast away most of the remaining practices of shamanistic totemism in favour of a more anthropomorphic spirituality in many parts of the world, the totems didn't perish, they just gave away. Between the times of majority shamanistic societies and the 20th century, the potential to become connected to the totem realm still endured. However, unlike today, it was rarer and happened without a trigger. Some people become linked naturally to their respective totems, and some people still do. Nevertheless, the early 20th century gave birth to the animation industry, which I really think is the main catalyst for reconnecting so many people with the totem realm. As I said earlier, the ancestral memory of totemism usually enters the consciousness after being triggered by something. Would there even be a bigger trigger than an animation about anthropomorphic critters, after all? Images have great power over people. It's no wonder why iconoclasm exists. Animation is the biggest maker of furries today, undoubtedly.
I would agree with that.
I would say that too.
I would definitely think it's definitely had its effects.
Yeah. The obvious follow-up question would be whether animators and animation studios apply anthropomorphism to their work without any ulterior motives.
I don't think so.
I don't think they do. I think they're just making a cute movie about animals.
I thought it was just because kids
kids don't like animals.
The idea of talking animals just seems like a really...
Mate, I'm nearly 28 and I still love a movie about talking animals.
Yeah, Megan's favourite type of movie is movies where the main character is a dog.
And they talk.
Yeah. But
and normally they have to find their way home.
And the villain's some over-the-top
cat.
Every fucking time.
Or whether there's something bigger going on behind our backs. I'm not sure about this myself, but sometimes I feel like they want to intentionally confuse people. Consider Brother Bear, a 2003 movie literally about totemism where a Native American man turns into a bear. It feels very on the nose. However, the most explicit example of animation movie that was clearly made by people aware of just how much you can influence people's minds with anthropomorphism is Disney's Zootopia from 2016.
You even said that, yeah.
If I recall correctly, it is the first Walt Disney animation picture that features exclusively anthropomorphic animals since The Lion King from 1995. The Lion King was 1994. The animals, clearly representing old animal archetypes before being subverted to a la postmodernism style, live in a world that parallels our own. All the political subtext in the film aside, what really struck me as I saw the film for the first time was how sexualized it was, with jokes about rabbit libido and muscular tiger dancers amongst other things. I can't accentuate Zootopia's influence enough. The Zootopia tag on
a website we're never going to go on to.
I'm not going to go on to. I'm not going to even name, because I don't want you going on to it.
We're protecting your fragile minds, guys. Think of the children.
The biggest furry porn archive has 42k results. Children who were 10 when they saw the movie would now be 15.
Oh my god.
The number of furries...
Are we getting old, Megan? I don't think Zootopia came out that long ago.
5 years ago.
It's longer than that.
It's longer than that. The number of furries this movie has created must be massive. If we are to believe that making people furries is in some way deliberate, it makes me wonder why. Some of you might have answers, which I'd be glad to hear. At this point, the only explanation I can come up with is that the elites like having people confused and perverted their identities in any way possible. TLDR. Fur faggotry is a corrupted and confused manifestation of totemism, most clearly seen in fursona creations. I know some of my points are vague, especially with the second segment. If you want to add something to my theory because you think I might be missing something, or you think I have an imperfect understanding of certain things, be my guest. You can also present your alternative theories. I'd be glad to hear them. KYS Furfag and Seek Jesus comments are also welcome.
Okay, well, so what do you guys think? This is a guy that I do think there might be something to this. I think there, like, some of the points that were brought up earlier with, okay, the difference between people that otherkin, for instance. I think
otherkin is a whole. I wouldn't even count otherkin as furries.
No, furries. I consider furries as straight up just more of a fetish. A fetish that's gone too far.
Yeah.
A fetish that's just gone too fucking far, guys.
Otherkins actually, in my sense, have more body dysmorphia than anything.
Would you say it's body dysmorphia mixed in with maybe dissociative identity disorder?
Could be.
Of sort. Maybe, possibly. The thing is, I feel like because furries are... Okay, I know furries are actually a lot older than what people think, but it's not like it's been studied in any way, shape or form, bar out people on the internet trying to work it out. It's not like there's ever been like clinical studies on like, okay, what's going on here? How can we understand this phenomenon better? As far as I'm aware, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to just investigate yourself and see what you can come up with. And honestly, I would say from the bulk of the furries that I've ever interacted with, I would argue that it's a mix of things. I would argue the first one is it's just straight up a fetish.
Yeah.
And they don't think anything else more of it. It's just...
Nearly all the ones I've come in contact with, it's all fetish based.
You know, the weird thing is they consider it almost like a...
And I've run into a lot of furries.
Yeah.
Not IRL.
No, I saw one. I do remember that time I near crashed the car. I'm not even joking. I was driving along.
Do you remember how innocent I was whenever we went to our first Comic-Con?
Oh yeah, and there was these
I still thought Google was the internet. And they were doing
There was like
a costume contest, and who had the best cosplay. And there was furries up on stage dancing. I was like, "Oh, look at their costumes!" And Jim was like, "No, Megan, walk with me. Walk with me. I'll tell you a story."
yeah. No, but furries are an interesting one because they're almost like there's no actual good definition for what they are. Mm-hmm. Like, you've got ones that are, as I say, just a fetish, and then there's ones that fuck their pets to death. Mm-hmm. Or like skin them alive, or all the other nasty stuff.
Which I do think that is a small collective.
I do think it's a small collective, but the problem I've got with it
still does happen.
It happens, and most furries are more than happy to try and cover it up because they feel like if they don't cover it up, then they feel like they themselves are going to get, it's part of your group, and it's too much of a group collective.
Yeah,
I feel like what really is the issue, you know what I mean, when it comes to that sort of stuff.
But I think it's the same in any though.
Oh yeah, any community, there's going to be people that are like, hide that brushing them
hide it, you take it too far, like the furries who fuck actual animals and skin them alive. Pedos. Yeah,
all that type of stuff. It's gone a bit too fucking far.
There's always groups, but I just don't. And it's like they're so out there and they're so open with sexualizing animals.
Yeah.
That I don't understand it.
The way
because animals.
I only feel bad for two groups of people, and this is only groups that I'll give money to or for charity. I'll give money for children, and I'll give money for animals, because I feel like both of them groups
don't have a consciousness to be able to.
Well, it's not that they don't.
Well, they can't help themselves.
They aren't in a position to be able to do anything to help themselves. Whereas if you look like a homeless adult, you know, they've made some life choices. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not nice that they're homeless, but they have made some life choices that have ended themselves in that situation. A child can't help themselves if their parents are homeless. If their parents are dickheads. And I don't feel like an animal, especially one that we've domesticated ourselves,
yes.
We have no... it's our responsibility to look after these animals.
Yeah.
I feel
and
like...
for people to... I said this before, that I put people who sexualise animals in the same category as paedophiles. Yeah. Because it's... The animals don't have a say, and children don't have a say.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it boils down to, and it's not nice. It's like it's not a very savoury conversation. But I do think this guy brought up some really interesting points. So, and it is very schizo, and it is really out there. But I thought it was worth doing, and we haven't done anything about furries in a very, very, very long time.
Thank Christ, I think I needed a break from it.
Look, you tell us what you think about... Well, actually, you probably shouldn't tell us what you think about furries in the comments.
No. Give us your schizo post down below.
Yeah, the only big religion I can think of that used animals heavily would be probably Egyptians.
No.
What other...
Hindu.
No, they're not. Well, they do use animals, but it's more like a mix between humans and animals. Like, they go in
Egyptians, would use a lot of animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Egyptians are the only ones I can think of that are very anthropomorphic. Yeah. Unless there's any
Native
other ones.
Americans, but they said Native Americans in it. They used
Native Americans, but I think that's
used a lot of animals. But yeah, give us your schizo post down below. And while you're down there, check out the links to the website, to the models, the subclasses, all that good shit. And hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!